Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode number 67 of the Project 2020 show. It is Saturday of week number 19, and on Friday, we hit a floor, and that floor is a new modern day print run floor. But with 4 cards remaining this week, are we going to get even lower? Let's talk about that and more in 1 second. Welcome back to my channel, which is the home of Project 2020 here on YouTube. My name is Chris, otherwise known as @CRT_Sportscards. On Twitter and Instagram. And if you want the best news and the best updates around Project 2020 and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button because I deliver you a video to your inbox 6 out of the 7 days of the week. We are now, at this moment, just a couple of hours away from finding out the print runs for the Thursday cards, which is the Roberto Clemente by Keith Shore and the Sandy Koufax by King Saladin. I've also now seen the pre-order totals for the Friday cards, the Ichiro by Rochester and the Dwight Gooden by Sophia Chang. Before we talk about those 4 cards, though, we do need to wrap up the Wednesday cards, the Mariano and the Tony Gwynn, and both were surprising in different areas. On the Tony Gwynn, I was surprised that this card sold over 4,000 copies. Not from the perspective of it missed my range. It did fall into my secondary, my revised range after 48 hours. But when you think of this week, a lot of cards 3.2. There has been some, maybe negative commotion around Don C's cards not transitioning well to the printed actual copies when we get them in our house. So I was just surprised to see that card jump all the way over 4,000. I don't know if that means this card is now overprinted by 1,000 when you think of the norm this week, but it was just surprising. That card got way over 3.8, 3.9, and well into the 4,000 range. Now on the other side of the coin is the Mariano by Tyson Beck. I did say that you could make the argument that this card was going to fall under the Jacob Rochester Dwight Gooden just based on the pre-orders alone, but I didn't think when you mix in Tyson Beck plus his fan base plus the collectors of the set that we would see a print run under 31.75, but it came in at 31.54, and this is our new modern day print run floor, and I take no credit for the term modern day collecting floor. I saw this on Twitter or Facebook yesterday, but the terminology is very simple. It's from card 123 to the present. 123 is the first time we saw a print run under 5,000 after the bubble, the pop, the pump and dump, all of that nonsense. So from 123 and on in the current phase, we are in the modern card collecting group. So this is the new print run floor. But will this record get broken over the next 48 hours? Let's take a look now at the 4 cards about to release over the weekend. But first, let's talk about the market and where the market ended yesterday. I did make one simple visual change to the chart to make it easier for you to see what the current week is and what the current day is. I just separated them out and did a blue box around them. But let's get to the charts and see what cards did well yesterday and what cards maybe had some opportunity from a sales perspective. So when you look at first player pricing here, you'll see that blue box around 728 to 730 and then for 731. The big winner of the day yesterday was the Ichiro, up to 1950 with one sale, 8% over the current max value, and then the min 57%. So that card is obviously spiking very nicely right now. One of the biggest losers yesterday was the Roberto Clemente, 332.50, down 33% versus the highest range, and then from the min down 17%. So that card right now at 332, that is the lowest we can find for that card at the moment. And you can see that card, gradually go up and then gradually go down. And then another card that was down yesterday, but still up from the min, is the Ricky Henderson Joshua Vides, 280, one sale, 40% down from the max value, but still 20% up from the minimum, the lowest price that we've seen so far on that card. Now taking a look here at second player pricing, nobody set a record yesterday, and when you look at 728 to 730, Roberto Clemente, Cal Ripken, Willie Mays, Don Mattingly, all of those right now are the lowest values of these cards since we've been tracking this starting on 6/9. And you look at like Mark McGuire, Keith Shore, that card right now is down 12% versus the minimum value. So that's rock bottom for that card at the moment. Now peeking at Forgotten 7 and the Y2K group, a lot of red, a lot of values down. We don't have as robust as information as we do as first and second player with these cards, especially on the Y2K group. But look at Sandy Koufax by Andrew Thiel. That card is spiked all the way to 103 from the original price of $72.79. So that's the one bright spot right now at the moment in all of these cards, but you can see here on the chart a ton of red when it comes to versus max pricing. And I think it goes without saying that right now, if you're a collector of this set, if you're looking to put a few extra pieces into your collection or fill a few holes in your set, now might be the time to purchase, because the values continue to drop altogether. Last night, for example, I was looking for an Ichiro JK5. Let me look at where the current values are, and let me see if I can find a current deal. There were a couple of people out there with some buy it nows at $200, and I didn't want to pay $200 for the card. I said if I pay $175 or $180, I'll be happy with that, considering that is well below where the card was just a couple of weeks ago, as we started talking about this Forgotten 7 group. So I threw out an offer at a seller at $180, and it was automatically accepted. Once that happened, I was like, man, I should have gone even lower. Maybe I could have gotten it for 170 or 175, but I was very happy to add that piece for just $180, considering where it was a couple weeks ago. As I've said here recently, August is going to be a difficult month, so continue to use these charts. I will update them every single day, and we'll talk about them on the show almost every single day, but use these numbers to your advantage to go back to add pieces to your collection and to make your collection at the end of the day more robust, take advantage of these lower prices. This does though beg the big question, a question I want to ask everybody here around Project 2020, and this is really geared to the collectors of the set. I know some of these pricing charts, I know print run information for a pure collector means nothing. It doesn't mean much because you're in this for collecting. You're in these because you like the artist, you like the player, or whatever it could be. There's something about it you want to collect, and resale value mean nothing. So I'm curious, if you could add a segment or two to the show or mix a few things in to help you collectors out, what would those be? Please leave a comment below. I'm always looking to engage all three sort of areas of this set. We have the collectors, we have the flippers, and then we have the long-term investors. So I'm trying to hit all three segments here in the proper way every week. So if you're a collector and you maybe feel that I'm ignoring you at times, please let me know in the comments below what I can add to the show to make it better for you going forward. Now, speaking about collectors of Project 2020, I did want to highlight two different photos I received here recently. First up here is Andrew with, look, this is not my collection. This looks a lot like my collection, but it is not. He has Ermsey with the Trout. We have F. Jackie Robinson, JK5, Natural with the Mike Trout companion card, but here is why his collection is better than mine. He has two Jackie Robinson Naturals. That is amazing. So fantastic collection here, Andrew, with Project 2020 so far. And our second collection of the day comes to us from Jeremy, and this is a high-end Project 2020 collection, all signed by either the artist or the player. Blake Jameson, Ben Baller, Dwight Gooden, Andrew Thiel, Don Mattingly, and Mr. Cartoon. So Jeremy, fantastic collection. I can only imagine what this cost to put together, but great job with this. And if you would like to have your collection highlighted on this show, reach out to me on social media or email me, chris@crtsportscards.com. And now getting back to the real meat and potatoes of Project 2020, Topps on Twitter announced as of Thursday that they are now shipping up to card 100. Now I get it, they don't ship these in order. There's a complicated process they use, whether it be order size, order time. I know people have not received 93, 94, but they are saying they're up to 100, which is a big print run, which is Blake Jameson's, Mike Trout. So hopefully we get through that, and then it'll start speeding up from there. And then Blake Jameson also reported he talked to Topps, I think the director, and he made mention that Topps has 1 million mags coming in this month to help the process go with shipping. They apparently have already printed up to card 151, which is great to see. So I think they're getting in 500,000 cases this week, and then they're getting 500,000 cases in a couple of weeks. So a couple months ago or 6 weeks ago, I talked about the surge. The surge is about to be here. If they ship out all of these cards in the next 3 weeks or a month, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? We're going to find out. But it's great to see these cards shipping out, because one thing is known. The moment you get these cards in, you like them even more, and that's what's going to create buzz and energy around the set, is when Topps delivers these cards to us that we paid for 60 days ago. So I am uber excited about getting these cards in hand after paying for them in June. And now, before we look forward to next week, where are the Thursday cards and where are the Friday cards going to land on the print run scale? The Sandy Koufax came in at 55 pre-orders, and the Roberto Clemente came in at 69. Both a little bit higher than the norm this week, but I still believe both of these are comfortably in my 3.2 to 3.8 range. We could see these cards come out 3.5, 3.6, maybe towards the higher part of my range, but I think these cards are solidly in 3.2 to 3.8. And then the Friday cards, after 24 hours, a neck and neck race here. Ichiro at 33 and Dwight Gooden at 34, which those are right in line with everything else this week. So right now, my number on those two cards are also 3.2 to 3.8. I think we're going to end up this week with 8 of the 10 cards in that range. And yes, I know the Mariano by Tyson Beck did not come in at 3.2. It came in at 3,154, but it came out very, very close to 3.2, so I'm kind of grouping it all together. But when you look at next week now, I don't think we're going to see the same story. This week was very consistent after an all-star week, but these weeks right now are kind of going up and down, and so next week you might have a couple big name artists, and you might also have a couple big name cards come out. We don't have any indication of what's coming out next week, but I do not believe next week will be as similar as this week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also if you want more news and notes from me around week 19, check out that playlist on the screen right now.